Hey guys, today I'd like to talk a little bit about some conversations I was having with some of my clients earlier this morning. And one of the things that was brought up was, isn't squatting lower bad for your knees? And so I had a client bring up to me that he had heard it was bad for his knees and there was a problem there. Well, the short answer is it depends. So the depth of the squat is really going to depend on your goal and is really going to depend on your injury history or your surgical history. So one of the issues that we run into with the squat and the knee is that as you squat lower, there are more compression forces on the meniscus from the femur on top of the tibia. Now, what happens there is that if you have some of your meniscus removed from a surgical procedure of some sort, I would steer clear of a very low squat, because those compression forces are already high in the bottom of the squat, and by removing some of that meniscus, you're creating more of an environment for a higher risk of injury in that position. So that's one reason why I wouldn't squat low. The other big reason why I wouldn't squat low is if your sport requires a ton of jumping and landing. So, for example, a lot of basketball players, if they're having patellofemoral pain or an issue underneath the kneecap in the front of the knee, I tend to like to keep their shin angle vertical as opposed to tipping the knee forward as they squat down. Because if you're squatting below parallel, your knee is going to travel forward, putting more stress on the anterior structures of that knee as well as more compression forces. So one of the good alternatives to a low squat is either cutting the squat a little bit high for those people that have meniscus issues, or for those people that have patellofemoral pain or jump a lot and land a lot in their sport, having them do a box squat where they reach their butt back to a box, keeping their shin angle relatively vertical while they're squatting. So these are some of the things that we can do as alternatives to the squat and still get that squat pattern and that squat mechanic to build the quadriceps and build that hip extension moment. But other than those two issues or those two problems that you may have with the knee, not counting tracking issues that need to be taught where the knees are coming in or out. These are technique issues that can be taught with a low squat or a high squat. These things need to be teased out. But other than these issues, squatting low is actually more beneficial, in my opinion, for muscle growth and just a better option for those of us that don't have pre-existing knee issues. By moving through a larger range of motion in that full squat, you're going to get better mobility over time, and you're going to gain more muscle in the quadricep because you're moving it through a fuller range of motion, allowing more stress to be applied to that muscle group. So if you're worried about hurting your knees in the squat or further damaging your knee in the squat, these are some things to consider and some things to think about when trying to pick the squat that's best for you. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always here to help. Jimmy with Progressive Performance.